Okay, so this is the knife holder for the CJV. It's got a little plastic casing and two little roller wheels. Sorry, it's hard to focus, I know. But basically, just unscrew the bottom part. Here. When you unscrew it, the inside will pop out. And your knife sits right in the opening. It's right here. The knife that's sitting in the clear case without any markings on it is my vinyl knife. I believe it's 60 degrees. I have a variety of knives. I have a lot of extras that are 45 degrees to cut the heat transfer material for fabric. This knife will not cut that fabric. It will just perforate it, and it'll be extremely hard for you to be able to transfer it. And this little wheel right here adjusts the depth of the knife. So if you want the knife to stick out further, or if you want it to stick out less. Okay. So let me put this back. Most you want your knife to come out of the top, so you can't see it right now. So I'm gonna put the little yellow ring back. Oh, a little bit back. Still not coming out. Okay, there, it's starting to show a little bit. You see it? Okay, barely. So you don't want your knife to stick out more than, they say half a credit card length. Just enough for the angle to show. If you're not cutting deep enough, it's not the knife's problem. It's your pressure. Oops. That. It's the pressure that you set your printer to. Okay, which we'll discuss a bit later on. So your knife, make sure it's tight. Make sure it's perforated. It goes right in the back. It just pops into a little opening. It's actually fairly easy to do this. Don't be afraid if you're not following along. Okay, and this little wheel right there tightens it up. So you tighten it up. Alright, so we got our knife in. We loaded our material up. So now I'm going to take you through the central controls of the system. So hopefully you can see the readout right here. So the most important buttons here are these four. These up here are kind of your ancillary buttons. So you have your mode change, which goes from your printing mode to your cutting mode. So if you want to make changes to your print settings, you do it in the print mode. If you want to make changes to your cutting settings, you do it in the cut mode. I'll go through each one of these in short. You have your test print. Okay, so here's how test print works. Whenever you press one of these buttons, it's going to set the origin. So I pressed one of them, so the wheel is going to go back. So the printing starts somewhere about here, so you don't want to waste this part of the material. So we'll come up, we'll say origin setup. So you use these buttons to dial it back in. So I'm pressing up right now, and then if I press left, the print head will come out. And I just press enter, because that's, as you can see, the origins right there. And it's the closest it can get. Okay, so every time before I start printing anything, I usually do a little test print. So you click test print, it'll say direct feed. You can also do scan direct. Doesn't really matter, I don't use it, but so the print head will go, and we'll make a print out of this. It's tough to see it, but it's a bunch of little cells of different colors. So what this means is each one of the cells is a nozzle that fires out the ink, and if any of the cells are empty, it means one of your nozzles is clogged. And if that happens, you want to do a nozzle wash, which I'll teach you to do in a bit, but just make a note that if any of your ink jets ever clog up, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You can wash them out. Okay, this is heater cutter. So if you press heater, it'll tell you the temperatures that you've set your printer to. So right now I have it about 44 for the preheat, 40 for the middle, and the post heat, which is this part right here. It's 45 degrees. You don't really have to mess around with settings much. They're pretty dialed in. And then you have user type. So this is where you can switch through your print settings. So right now I'm printing on type 2, and you can switch to